Hey everybody, Craig Cottle from Nature Reliance School, guest instructor with DansDepot.com. Today we want to take a look at how to see more things when you're in the woods rather than just looking at things. First thing I want to show you right out here in the opening are these boonie hats. We're going to use these boonie hats in this video to help illustrate some of these points that we're trying to make. So what we have here are 5 different boonie hats. Obviously you can see some of them better than others. It's not that I want you to say, hey, I can see that one. It's what I want you to do is, why do you see that one? For example, we have on this end Tiger Stripe, Vietnam era camouflage. This is multicam camouflage. This obviously is blaze orange. This is ATAX FG, and this is basically a commercial offering of real tree boonie hat. So some things to notice while we're here in the open is the contrast between, for example, this black against this orange. The contrast of this OD green against the actual camouflage pattern on this Tiger Stripe hat. All these bands on all these hats are easy to see, whereas there is no band on this hat, and so there is a uniform look to the hat rather than having some breakup. That's the first thing I want you to notice. Next thing I want you to notice is the lines. So basically, if you have this hat and I was wearing it, you would see that line against the backdrop of whatever it was that is behind me. So this line right here of this hat, the line of the bill of the hat all the way around, there's very few very perfect circles out in the woods like this. Therefore this line is going to show up. You're going to see that. And same thing is true on all these hats. On this hat I was playing with it just to see how much difference it would make, so I cut a pattern in this bill of this hat, pulled it off and shredded it a bit. And that's also what I was doing with this boonie hat, is trying to create a 3D effect. So we're going to take these out in the woods next, lay them out, and we'll see how easy or hard they are to see. So we arrayed the hats back out again, and again we've got the Vietnam era Tiger Stripe, ATAX FG, Blaze Orange, Real Tree, and Multicam. And I've put these in a spot here where we can utilize the environment to talk about several things. First off, I tell you what, I'm going to get behind the camera and zoom in on them, and we'll talk about each one of them. That'll be a better idea so you can see some things I want you to see. So what we have here is the Vietnam era camouflage. You'll notice the black and how it stands out against the less dark leaves that are around it. Right here we have the ATAX FG. It blends in fairly well. Got to keep in mind on that FG hat that I've got some three-dimensional material hanging off of it too. That's what you see at the bottom of the hat. You can see the dome of the hat pretty easily. That should be covered up if you wanted to be camouflaged. The blaze orange is pretty obvious, but this particular setup helps you see a couple things I want you to see, and that is the green leaf that is in front of it and how much it contrasts against that orange color. That is going to make that easily seen. Right here's probably the best one we've got. That's the in this setup at least, is the Real Tree. You can see the white and black contrast of the hat itself against the green leaves that surround it. If I pick that hat up, there would be some more of those green leaves. It looks like something's missing there, and what's missing is what's underneath the hat. So if we covered the hat with some of the material around it, it would be much better off. But that's a pretty good setup, because I put that one in front of some stuff that is right behind it, some leafy material, and then I put the grassy material right in front of the hat to break up the pattern. And then right here you have the multicam, and again I tried to put it right behind some leafy material. But what I wanted to do with this one to help you see is take a look at the brightness on top of the hat itself, because on top of that hat the sunlight is hitting it, and I put it there on purpose so you could see how bright that shows up. That's material that's a brand new hat that I want to try out that camo and see what it looks like. And so it hasn't been worn at all, and is very new, so it's bright and shiny. That's something to keep in mind if you get new camouflage. So all I've done now is just to give you a quick glimpse of how to add three-dimensional material to your garment in the environment that you're in. All I did was take 2 handfuls of leaves and just shake them over top of all these hats. And I took there's a dead log laying here, cedar that I've broken up, because it's got like a yellow orangish tint, and I've thrown that mostly on this orange, blaze orange hat, so you can see that even the blaze orange can be distorted. I didn't do anything to the Realtree hat. I threw a handful of leaves on the multicam to try to break off that sunlight. Then I threw a good handful of leaves on the ATAC. So you can see the difference by just adding just a few handfuls of leaves. Here all I'm trying to do is create an effect for your eye to see that stick and follow up the stick and come out here, and there's a reason. Your eye will pick up these two lines on this stick. We'll talk about that in another video of how and why that occurs. But basically what I'm trying to do is pull your eye up here and away from the hat. So if that was me laying there with that hat on, I would have something over me. And if I moved up 5 foot, I would try to get something else from the environment to put on me as I'm moving. So there you go. That's some ideas on camouflage. Hope it helps. And until next time, I hope to see you on or off the trail.